Hello everyone, Catweazle here. Welcome back to Eldritch Horror Yog-Sothoth. Okay, a couple of things to mention from last turn, mainly to do with the Dunwich Horror. I stopped reading about here after the glamour spell because it was basically around if Yog-Sothoth wasn't the ancient one, and he was. But there was a little bit of extraness just at the bottom. During this game, the Dunwich Horror Epic Monster has a toughness equal to Investigators +4. So, unlike the back of the actual monster token, where it says +2, it actually goes up to +4. So thank you, Glenn, for pointing that out. So, it's 8 toughness monster. So, it's even tougher than we first thought. Which, he's a bit nasty. Alright. So, being done, let's just sort of crack on with it, shall we? First up, our first player is Tommy Muldoon, so let's get across to the action phase. And here's Tommy in Anchorage, just about with everybody else. Okay, so what he's going to do is his first action is he's going to use his component action, which is move one monster of your choice with toughness 3 or less to your location from an adjacent space. Well, fortunately, San Francisco is an adjacent space, so he's going to move the Ghast, which is good news for Charlie, because Charlie isn't that tough. But Tommy is. Tommy kicks ass. So that's our first movement. He's going to fight it now. The reason for that reason is, if you look on the back of the Ghast, we have got to fight it immediately. So, this isn't an action. The fighting, all this is we're following what's on the back of here, which is the investigator has to encounter it immediately. So, let's have a look. For the will test, for sanity, we've got -1. And it does a possible 1 sanity damage. So what we're going to do is, he has a will of 3, so that'll give him 2 dice. And he fails, which is not an auspicious start. So he's going to lose 1 sanity. But he's probably never seen a Ghast before, which has probably got something to do with it. Next up, he's got a strength -1 test. Now, his strength is 3, and he also has the carbine rifle, Becky, which makes it 8 -1, so he'll get 7 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we need 2 successes. And we get a shed load of successes. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So, excellent stuff there from Tommy. He has killed the Ghast. And are we glad to get rid of it? That goes back into the monster bag. And now we've got Tommy's second action. Tommy's second action, he is going to San Francisco. So there he is, and that's the end of his turn. Well, his action phase. Next up is Charlie. What Charlie's going to do is, Charlie is going to, first of all, let's have a look at his actions. Another investigator may perform an additional action. I don't think we'll use that yet. What he'll do is, he is going to see if he can get anything out of the reserve, so he's going to do an influence test. So that's 5 dice. So he'll have 5 dice because he does have the personal assistant. He gets 1 success. That was rubbish, but he does get 1 re-roll. In fact, I rolled too many dice, so I'm going to roll that again. I rolled 6 dice. Blimey, can't have that. Right, 5 dice like he should have rolled. That came out, which is a pity because he had 2 successes. Two successes. So that's good. We actually get an extra success through me being an idiot and putting too many dice in first time round. So he's got 2 successes. Let's go down to the asset reserve and see what we can get. And here's the asset reserve. So he's got 2 successes. So what he's going to do is he's going to take a bank loan out, which means he gets a debt condition. So give these a rubbish shuffle as normal and drop them on the floor. I'm not good at shuffling anyway, but these little cards are a real pain. Right, there we go. Take it off the bottom. We get a debt one straight up. So that will go on Charlie's player area. And he has now got 4 successes. So what's he going to spend them on? There's actually 5 success worth of stuff here. First of all, he is going to take the 45 automatic. As per his action, he can now sort of fire these off. He's got a passive where he can fire them off to somebody. And the person who's going to get this is going to be our other combat model, which is Ursula Downs. So he's going to send that to Ursula. So that's good. The other 2 that he's going to buy is he's going to buy the charter flight and the investment. The charter flight he's going to give to Tommy. Tommy's not going to use it straight away. But it could be useful for him to very quickly get to Arkham when we come round to try and kill the Dunwich Horror. So that's going to go to Tommy. And the investment, well, I think he'll keep the investment because he's our go-to guy, Charlie. He's the guy with all the cash, and it's quite thematic that he's the guy who's got the investment. So he's going to keep that. Okay, so that means we've spent all our money, but we do have to refresh what's in the reserve. So first up, we get an intelligence report, which is at cost of 3. When you gain this card, immediately gain 2 clues, then discard this card. Could be very useful. Next up, it's the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. We had this last time. Once per round you may re-roll 1 die when resolving a test. So that's good. That'd be good for somebody like Tommy, who's going to be doing most of the combat. And finally, the Profane Tome, which we also had last time. You may re-roll 1 die when resolving a will test during a combat encounter. Again, that'd be useful for Tommy. So there we go. We've filled up the asset reserve. Let's get back to Charlie for his second action. Okay, for his second action, Charlie is actually going to get a focus. He'll just give him an extra re-roll for such time as he's rolling for assets again, which he'll be doing quite regularly. So as well as the re-roll that he's going to get off his personal assistant, this will give him another re-roll as well, because we're going to need to get everything tooled up. Rightio, that's it for Charlie. Next up is Jacqueline Fine. And here's Jacqueline on Minneapolis. So what's Jacqueline going to do? Well, I think first of all, she's going to prepare for travel. As Lorg suggested, we could do with getting somebody on the Asian side of the board. There's nothing there at the moment, but something will turn up there. And let's see if we can get Jacqueline there. It'd be nice to get her to Tokyo, because if we can get her to Tokyo, then what that means is there's monster killing opportunities there in the encounters. So, in fact, she's not going to prepare for travel. First thing she's going to do is actually travel. So she's going to travel to San Francisco. She's got Flesh Ward and Voice of Ra. I don't think she wants to trade any of those. We'll keep those. She has got 2 influence. I suppose she could try and get a couple of these, but we'll leave that to Charlie. She's going to prepare for travel. The reason I had to travel first to San Francisco is I can only get a boat ticket in San Francisco. I couldn't get it in Minneapolis because it doesn't have a ship lane. So she's ready to move off towards Tokyo next turn. put that on her player area. Right, that's it for Jacqueline. Next up, we have the lovely Ursula in the heart of Africa. And here's Ursula. Oh, I also managed to get a smaller sort of thing just to fit round here, so I'm not like moving everything all out of the way. It's quite high-sided and it's clear, so I don't think many of the dice will come flying out of that. So here she is in the heart of Africa. What is she going to do? Well, she can move to the pyramids. So she's going to do that. And because that's an uncharted path, it doesn't count as an action. Because one of her special abilities is action. Move one space along an uncharted path, then perform one additional action. So that's what we've done. We used a component action, and now she's still got 2 actions left. So, what's she going to do? Well, there's not a great deal she can do, really. She can't prepare for travel. She also has an ability whereby she may spend 1 less focus to 0. So we'll give her an opportunity to get another focus. So that'll make that an even better ability for her. And so she's done that. What other things can she do? Well, can't prepare for travel because we haven't got a train or a ship lane. She can't acquire assets because it's a wilderness space. She could rest, but she's fully healed. She can't focus because we've already focused. She can't trade because there's nobody to trade with. And a component action, well, we've already used that. And there's no other component action that she can use apart from, I've just spotted it, I knew there was something else. Mineralogy research. The pyramids is a wilderness space. Oh, after resolving a general encounter or an expedition encounter. So we're going to have the encounter first. I thought it was an action. It isn't. But we'll remember that for the encounter phase that's coming up. So let's just say she rested. She rested, but obviously she's fully sane and she's fully healed. So it's just a nice little rest for her. Right, that's it for the action phase. Next up is the encounter phase. And here we are, back in San Francisco, where it's all happening. Right, Tommy's up first. So what's Tommy going to do? Well, I think Tommy's going to try and close this gate. In all honesty, that's what he's going to do. So let's just get the gate deck. Here we go. Let's see what we get. City of the Great Race. One of the Ithians is incoherent, communicating only in occult gibberish. You learn that the creature swapped minds with a man and then died, leaving the person's thoughts trapped in his body. You try to understand what it is saying. We've had this before. Look how many cards there are. And we get the same bloody encounter. Never mind. But he's going to test law. So his law is, unfortunately, it's 2. So that's a bit of a downer. Hang on. Well, I'll sort that out. Okay, 2 dice for Tommy. Yes! And he does it. Well done, Thomas. It begs you to complete its work. You may gain an agreement condition to gain 1 task unique asset. This bargain might convince the Ithians to return you home, which is influence -2. Roll 2 additional dice if you gain the agreement condition. If you pass, close this gate. Yeah, it's this bloody card again. Well, his influence is 3. So, take 2 off, he's only rolling 1 dice. So it's not worth taking the agreement, because he's going to be rolling 1 dice anyway. I think. Have I got that right? I hate this card. Right, this bargain might convince the Ithians to return you home. -2. Yep. So, take it off the +2 that you'd get for the agreement. Leaves it as 0. Yeah. So, therefore... Oh, he would roll 3. He rolls 3 dice. He rolls 3 dice. Hang on. Yep. That'll be 3 dice if he takes the agreement condition. So he'll take the agreement condition. Why not? I think also that Jacqueline can look on the back of that agreement condition, because it's a non-common condition. So we'll see how bad it is and whether we've got to get rid of it. Right, but first we've got to roll 3 dice and get ourselves an agreement. So it's in here with the dark packs. A bit of a shuffle. Right, pull off the bottom. That's a dark pact. That's a dark pact. That's a dark pact. That's a dark pact. Agreement. There we go. So he's got an agreement. See how nasty that is with the help of Jacqueline. But that means he's got 3 dice to roll. Go on, Tommy. Oh, that's awful. And there's nothing else he can do, can he? Basically, it took that agreement for nothing because we can't close the gate, I don't think. If you pass, close this gate. Didn't pass. Didn't close the gate. Not an auspicious start. Somebody else is going to have a go. So, that was Tommy. What a pity it wasn't Charlie, because Charlie had 5 influence. And it's now Charlie's go, and I'm wondering whether Charlie should try and close the gate. He is going to try and close the gate. I don't want gates open, because if we get a reckoning, Doom, we've got 3 investigators on there. Doom will go up 3, I think. Right, the gate takes him to the Plateau of Leng. Something on the horizon attracts your attention. Before you can identify it, a blinding snowstorm picks up. Through the snow, you are no longer sure of the direction you're going. Resolve the pass effect to press forward, or resolve the fail effect to turn back. Well, I'm going to go forward, man. Oh, hang on. Let's have a think. Don't read that. If we're going to press forward in a snowstorm, I'm guessing that that'll be a strength test. And his strength is 2 and pants. Coming back, I doubt it is a strength test. It'll be something else. So it might be observation, something like that, you know, to find his way back to the gate. And from what I've seen, I think you do get a chance coming back to close the gate as well. It's very rare that the pass condition gives you a chance and the fail condition gives you a chance, I think. But the fail condition is normally a bit tougher. But I don't want that strength test, or what I think is going to be a strength test. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back. So we're going to read the fail condition. The storm seems to follow you and you begin to sense an eerie presence. Suddenly you stumble onto the deck of a ship and beg for the crew's help. So that is, influence -1. That is excellent. So he's got 4 dice. Let's just check the pass. Yeah, look, it would have been a strength. Yeah, and -1, so we'd have got 1 dice. This way we get 4 dice. And he gets a success. Foo! If you pass, they make sure nothing else comes through. Close this gate. Yes! Whether you pass or not moves to space 13. Oh, God. Right. So we've closed the gate, so that's good, but he's going to get moved. Right, put the gate in the discard, on there, and he moves to space 13, which no doubt is in the middle of bleeding nowhere, when I can find it. Oh yes, up in the frozen north, Spitsbergen or somewhere, but he's only 1 movement from London. So we might pop him into London and he can start spawning clues next turn. He'll need to get to a city anyway because we need to use his influence. Right, so he's managed to close the gate. So good news. Well done, Charlie. Hopefully Tommy will start following your lead. Right, next up is Jacqueline. Well, she may as well go after the clue that's here. So what she's going to do is a research encounter. See if we can get ourselves a clue. It's in a city. While taking a taxi, your driver suddenly stops and leaves the car. Shortly after, a man in a black suit opens the door next to you. A cultist monster ambushes you. If you defeat it, you search his pockets and learn his identity. Gain this clue. Right. Okay, we've got to fight a cultist. So let's have a quick look at what the cultists are like. So we don't have to do a horror check. We've got a strength test. And it's got one health. But we use all our strength. I think she's only got one. Oh, God. She's only got one. And we've got to succeed. If we succeed, then we kill it. It'd be nice to kill it because we get the clue. We have got Flesh Ward, so we'll try and cast that. If we don't, we'll try and cast that and avoid getting one health. Right. So one. Yes. Oh yes, baby. Jacqueline, with the worst strength in the world, has done it. She's stabbed him in the neck with a pen. Well done. Right, so she's killed the cultist. That means she gets the clue. So I'll just pick one out of the supply. Oh, what am I talking about? Pick one out of the supply. It's the one here. Duh. Right, so she's now got 2 clues. Brilliant stuff. Well done. I don't think there's anything else, is there? Oh, yeah, there is something else. Let's have a check. She loses a sanity, but she gains a spell. She's good because she's a spellcaster. So we'll take a sanity off her. So she's now down to 7 sanity, but we get to pick a spell. So here's a spell deck, and what's on the bottom? Poison Mist, a ritual. So do it in the action phase. Test law +1. If you pass, discard monsters from your space with a total toughness equal to or less than your test result. So that's quite a good spell to have. She's not very good at the strength, even though she did quite well there. So if she ever gets into a bit of lumber, she can use Poison Mist. So that's a good spell for her to get. Very good. Well done, Jacqueline. Right, so put that at the back of the research deck. And next up, we have got Ursula Downs, and she's at the pyramids. And here we are at the pyramids. As you can see, that's where Charlie ended up at Spitsbergen or somewhere else. Exceedingly cold and chilly. So, but we're down in the pyramids with Ursula, and what she's going to do is we're going to have our first expedition encounter. So we need to get the expedition encounter deck, which is this one. And let's flick it over. The pyramids. Inside the pyramid, you find a hidden passage leading to an undiscovered throne room. You explore the room for indications of its history. Observation. Woo! Glad we put our observation up because it is now 4. And we get a success. A 6. So here's the pass condition. You see a star map adjacent to a world map on the wall. You use a star map to determine a location on the world map. Test law. Her law is 3, so that's still pretty good. And she passes again. Excellent. If you pass, you discover a hidden cabinet built into the wall. Gain 1 artifact. Woohoo! We love it. Right, so let's find, there's the artifact deck. So it's the first time we're using it, we'll give it a quick shuffle. There you go, cut it. And then we don't have to bother again. Right. Satchel of the Void. Item, magical. You cannot gain a lost in time and space condition unless you choose to. In the action phase, look at the top gate in the gate stack. Gain 1 clue if that gate corresponds to the current omen. Alright. Well, Alright, I suppose. Okay, it's a way to get clues. Further weapon, but c'est la vie. Let's put that back. Right, so that's the end of the expedition encounter. And she is our last investigator. So let's move on to the good old mythos phase. And here we are at the mythos phase. Charlie, Spitsbergen, Ursula's at the pyramids, she's moved up from Heart of Africa, San Francisco, Jacqueline Fine and Tommy Muldoon. And we've still got the Dunwich Horror at Arkham. Right, mythos deck. Let's see what we've got. We've got an omen movement. So we go into a blue constellation. No gates are open, so that's fine. We've got a reckoning, which isn't so fine. So let's go through the reckoning rigmarole. First of all, we look at monsters. And the only monster that we've got on the board is our friend, Young Whately, the Dunwich Horror. So what happens? Roll one die. If the result is less than or equal to the investigators, spawn one gate. So we need a 5 or a 6 to avoid spawning a gate. Yes! A 6! So we don't spawn a gate. Yes! Brilliant. Right, so we've done that. So next up is Ancient One. There is something on the Yog-Sothoth. Here we go, reckoning. Each investigator on a space containing a gate advances doom by 1 unless he discards one spell. Well, we've got no gates. Woohoo! So that's him. That's that sorted. And next up, after the Ancient One, it's Mythos cards. Well, we haven't got any ongoing Mythos cards, so that's fine. Possessions and conditions next. So we've got a deck condition for Charlie and Azure Flame. So we'll do him first. Let's do the conditions last, isn't it? It's possessions first, so we'll do the Azure Flame, which is test law and flip this card. His law is 2. And he fails. Is he going to spend his focus? No he isn't. Let's get the bad news. Your understanding of the magic is weak. If you rolled any 1s, discard this card. I didn't roll any 1s, did I? I think I rolled 3s. I'll check that. Oh, I shouldn't have took the things out. I'll check that. If he's rolled any 1s, obviously I'll discard it. But I don't think he did. But if he has, I'll discard it. For the time being, I'll keep it on his player area. But I will remove it if he did roll a 1 then. Next up is debt condition. Some men have come to collect your debt. Flip this card. The man in the silk suit hands you a large stack of papers. I believe you'll find this offer quite reasonable. His smile reminds you of a shark. It's clear that he will not take no for an answer. Yes, influence test. 5 dice. Go on, Charlie. How they found you in Spitsbergen, I don't know. Yes, he gets a success. Yep, we don't lose anything, and we discard the card. Good. Right, so that was Charlie. Next up, we have Jacqueline, and she just has the voice of Ra. So she's going to test law. Her law's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no successes. No successes. 4 dice and not getting a success. But she killed the cultist. 0. You hear the voice in your head at all times. Lose 1 sanity and gain 1 madness condition unless you discard this card. I'm going to discard the card. that doesn't bother me at all. It's not that good a spell. It's okay, but we've got another one. Well, for the time being, we've got another one. Which brings us to Ursula. Ursula's also got the other one, which is the voice of Ra. Again. So, her law is 3. So she gets 3 dice to try and get a success. She doesn't do it either. And she got 2 2s and a 1. Suddenly the voice goes quiet. If you rolled any 1s, discard this card. You rolled a 1. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. So, oh, put it in the discard pile for the spells. So, we're not doing very well on keeping our spells. The voice of Ra's gone for a Burton. Oh, right, we've got an Azure Flame and we've got an agreement condition for Tommy. So, the Azure Flame. Test law. His law is 2. Probably going to get 1s. No, we get 4 and a 3 that time. But no successes. The flames turn on you. Gain 1 injury condition unless you discard this card. I don't want to discard this card. But I don't particularly want an injury condition either. I'll take the injury condition. Sod it. Right, so these are the injury cards. Let's give it a quick shuffle. Let's give it a cut. And we get a head injury. When you perform a rest action, you cannot recover sanity. Roll 1 die. On a 4, 5 or 6, discard this card. Alright, not too bad. See if we have a rest and try and get rid of it. So we've got a head injury. And the agreement. This is a bad one. This is the bad one. Right, roll 1 die. A 2, that's not good. On a 1 or a 2, the time has come for you to pay your dues. Flip this card. I've only had it 2 minutes. The contract didn't seem half bad when you decided to sign, but now reading the fine print, you see you were a fool to think it was a fair trade. Gain a dark pack condition, then roll 1 die. On a 1, flip your dark pack condition. Well, that's just brilliant. So, I won't. So, that goes back into this deck, which has a load of dark packs in it. Another quick shuffle. Bloody dark packs. Right. Off the bottom, that's an agreement. That's an agreement. This is the dark pack we get. So every reckoning, we're just hoping we don't get a 1. Dark packs are really bad, and I don't think I can get rid of it. It doesn't look like I can get rid of it at all. So I'm afraid I don't think we'll be playing Tommy for long. If I know anything about dark pacts, then it's got a good chance of getting devoured. Right, a gate. Let's spawn a gate. Shanghai. It's bloody red sunburst as well, and that's up next, which is unfortunate. Not there. Any gate means a monster. Cheers, we've got a warlock, which also has a reckoning symbol. Oh god, I could do with getting rid of him as well. Don't want anybody getting a curse condition. Right, so the warlock is in Shanghai. Piece by piece you are falling apart. It's getting harder to successfully negotiate simple human interactions. Your wounds won't stop bleeding and your hands won't stop shaking. From bad to worse. We've had this before as well. Event. Each investigator loses 1 help for each injury condition he has. Well, the only one who's got an injury condition is Tommy. Tommy loses 1 health. 1 sanity for each madness condition. Nobody's got a madness condition, so that's okay. And discards 1 clue for each deal condition. Well, he's got a dark pack, which is a deal condition, but he hasn't got any clues, so he can't discard any. And nobody else has got a deal condition. Charlie had one, but he got rid of it. So that's that. And that's the end of the mythos. Right, well, a good turn, I think. It's a bit grim that obviously Tommy's got a dark pact and a head injury. We rolled well, and then it just went off the boil. We ended up losing 2 of our glamour spells, the Voice of Ra, but that's no great loss really. We kept the Azure Flames, but I'm wondering whether I should have kept Tommy's now, because that dark pact is just, oh, that's bad. But, or was it the head injury? I don't know, I can't remember. But we may lose another one anyway, because I wasn't sure whether I'd rolled a 1. I'll check that. Right, I'll go and take this, I'll go and upload it, and then I shall come back with a turn review. Toodaloo. Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome back to the turn review. Well, it went okay. I mean, we got rid of a gate, we got rid of the Ghast, managed to kill a cultist, and what have you, but Tommy's in a bit of a pickle. But first of all, Charlie did quite well. He got a debt condition in order to get some stuff out of the asset reserve. So he was able to get an investment, the 45 automatic for Ursula and the charter flight for Tommy. He got focus and he's still okay, didn't lose any health, didn't lose any sanity, and he closed the gate. So he did very well to close the gate at San Francisco. The Plateau of Leng ended up in the middle of the Arctic Ocean, Spitsbergen or somewhere, and he's going to have to go to London next turn, I think. But that's good, because he'll be able to spawn clues in London. So that's a good place for him to be. So pretty good from Charlie's point of view. We're very happy with Charlie. Jacqueline Fine, well, she was able to get herself a boat ticket after moving from Minneapolis to San Francisco. She managed to pick up a clue. So she did a research encounter and picked up a clue from that cultist that she managed to kill. So considering she only had 1 strength, that was excellent. And she's got herself a poison mist spell, which should help in her defence. So she did lose a sanity though, so she's only got 7 sanity left. But she has got 2 clues. So that's pretty good from Jacqueline. She's done okay. Ursula Downs, she went to the pyramids and did the expedition. She also managed to get an extra action because she went along an uncharted path, managed to get herself a focus, and she got Satchel of the Void by completing the expedition. In fact, I've got to move the expedition. Let's have a look. That looks like the next card is Antarctica. I shall move the expedition token to Antarctica. Done that. She's still at the pyramid, she's got a clue there. She might try and get that next turn, that clue. Or she may head up to Istanbul or Rome or something like that. Tommy. Well, Tommy, what a mixed bag. He hasn't not gone very well for him at all, really. He did manage to kill the Ghast, and then it all went downhill from there. Some of his rolling was appalling, and due to a combination of factors, he's ended up with a dark pact, which gives us a real problem. The real problem being that we're counting on him to kill the Dunwich Horror. If he gets devoured, then we're really in trouble, because I think in devoured investigators, all their stuff disappears as well, goes back. So that's really bad. So I think we're gonna have to get him over to Arkham pretty quickly, and he's gonna have to fight the Dunwich Horror and try and get some health off it. Ideally, I would have wanted to get him blessed or something, but I think we're really stuck. So what we're going to do is, I don't think we'll keep him as first player. I think we shall move our first player to Ursula. The problem with that is I'm aware that on a reckoning there's a good chance with that warlock that somebody's going to end up being cursed. I think Ursula's about the best to deal with it. So one thing I forgot with Ursula as well, she should have done a mineralogy research while she was at the pyramids and she forgot. So we could have got 2 clues there, messed up there. Back to Tommy. We can't really get rid of this Dark Pact. We'll just have to hope that we don't roll 1s on the reckoning, or some other card comes up with a way for us to get rid of it. He's got a head injury. We'll try a rest action next turn, and then probably use the charter flight and get him to Arkham, and see if he can put some health onto that Dunwich Horror, because we've got to kill that to solve the first mystery. And the worst thing that could happen is we get another reckoning in the next mythos and he gets devoured, because then we're really up against it then. I think he's going to have to go there and try and take it on. Right, what are the other people going to do next turn? Charlie, go to London, then start spawning clues, have another dip into the asset reserve. What I forgot to do during the turn was when we spend one influence to buy something, then we should really, to maximise our chances, we should sort of fill up the reserve straight away, and then we've got another thing to choose from, so I'll remember to do that next turn. Jacqueline, well, I want her to go to Tokyo. Unfortunately she can't get to Shanghai quickly enough. The furthest we can get is to Tokyo. Even Ursula can't make it to Shanghai. She's the other nearest investigator, so we're just going to have to hope there isn't an omen movement, because otherwise Shanghai's a red sunburst, so we will get doom movement. Ursula in the pyramids. She might stay in the pyramids, pick up that clue that's there, and also use her mineralogy research and get 2 extra clues, so we could end up with 3 clues. So I might keep her at the pyramids, just to stock up on clues, really. Tommy Muldoon, yeah, well, we briefly mentioned Tommy. He's going to have to get over to Arkham, I think, and start putting a hurting on the Dunwich Horror, because if he does end up getting devoured or something, then I want the Dunwich Horror to be severely weakened, so another investigator can take it on, and then we can solve that first part of the mystery. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for all the views and all the subscriptions. They are very much appreciated. Thank you very much for all the of the mistakes and for all the tactical tips. They're much appreciated too. Please keep them coming. And that's it for turn 1 of Eldritch Horror, Yog-Sothoth. Hope you join me for turn 2, but until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.